Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler. This time, we are going to look at 2004, another of these major moments in the history of the original Star Wars trilogy. Now, right now, as I'm recording this, we're in the midst of the Blitz of 2013. 8 days in October of 2013 in which Lucasfilm has released 7 different new home video products. Though granted, most people aren't buying all the different products out there. Among them, though, is this, a Blu-ray DVD combo pack of the classic trilogy. This is notable because this one is going to feature the Blu-ray version of A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi on a DVD disc at lower resolution. This is the first new DVD we've gotten since 2004. Starting in 2004, there is a massive repackaging blitz that hits us all the way through 2008 of a 2004 product. The product we're dealing with is the first Star Wars original trilogy release on DVD and its immediate successor in 2005. Star Wars fans had been clamoring for the Star Wars films on DVD. It was, just like with Blu-ray, it was the most eagerly anticipated, most asked for DVD set of any kind at the time. And frankly, it seemed like it was taking Lucasfilm forever to actually get these things out to us. We already had The Phantom Menace, already had Attack of the Clones, no classic trilogy. Until finally, in 2004, 2 years after Attack of the Clones is in theaters, and 1 year before the theatrical release of Revenge of the Sith, we get the Star Wars films on DVD for the first time, at least the classic trilogy on DVD for the first time. And again, there are changes made to the films. Again, from the first 20 years or so, or 19, I guess you could say, except for little tweaks to better the audio and the video quality, and one reinsertion of a C-3PO line, we basically had unchanged Star Wars films all the way from 77 up until 96. Then, as 97 began, we got the special editions that went in and tweaked it all because that was Lucas's definitive vision. And now it's changing again, 7 years later. Not as big a changes as with the special edition, but there are quite a few. We'll go through and catalog those on some special episodes of this series later on in its run, probably sometime in summer of 2013, but just a few. On A New Hope, we now have a new CGI Jabba in that scene with Jabba and Han that was reinserted from that old footage for the special editions in 97. We get the controls on the tractor beam, now in Orabesh. Oh, how nifty. We get a tweak that makes the prison area on the Death Star look like the hall is longer that we, didn't really need. We get some color corrections that make it so Luke's lightsaber in different shots look like it's freaking green already instead of blue like it's supposed to be. One of the major pet peeves with this release that someone in quality control should have caught. And unfortunately, Han still shoots second. Greedo still shoots first, but they squish them together, so it looks like the shots are closer to simultaneous this time. See, Han's still a badass. No, you neutered him back in 97, George. Empire Strikes Back, we get a few new little offerings here. There's a new exterior shot of Cloud City. We get Han's little error going on where at first you would see him in long shots before he does the whole I love you, I know, he'd be in just the white shirt, but then in the close-up it looked like it was black. That's been fixed, so now it all looks white. We've got a couple of Imperials who had, because of the reversing of the picture, had their rank insignia on the wrong side. That is now fixed. But the biggest change we get is the fact that now the original scene of Clive Revel as Emperor Palpatine talking to Vader has been removed and replaced by a new version, or a partially new version. Vader's part's still pretty much the same. A partially new version with Ian McDiarmid as Palpatine, as we now know him so much from the prequels and his version of the Emperor in Return of the Jedi. He hadn't been cast as of the time in 1980 that Empire Strikes Back was on its way out. So we have this new version with slightly new dialogue to go around this time, which somewhat subtly tweaks who knew what about Luke Skywalker and his identity and when, which I thought was kind of an interesting touch. It certainly looks more like we think of the Emperor to look than that weird monkey meets woman face for the original version, but is still a major change that many people were uncomfortable with at the time. I think it's an improvement, mostly. Most of the major changes to Return of the Jedi came at the end. Now, when Luke helps him take this mask off and everything, and we get to see what Sebastian Shaw Anakin looks like underneath. They've gone in and digitally changed his eye color to match Hayden Christensen's because, you know, being fried doesn't change your eye color as far as I know. And, of course, they remove his eyebrows because they were singed off oh so very long ago. They also, of course, changed the celebration sequence that we got from the special editions to now include Naboo among the planets. And there was a change, or two changes really, made to the Coruscant scene so that now we see the Jedi Temple somehow still intact in the background, and we see the Senate in the background as well. Then, of course, though, we get the most controversial change to the end of Return of the Jedi, and that is the replacement of the digital Sebastian Shaw Anakin that we all had a little action figure of back in the day, that has always been one of our last shots of this film, and instead we now get Hayden Christensen as Revenge of the Sith era Anakin, because somehow he didn't age as a spirit, it brought him back to his prime, or something? But we have now Ghost Hayden Christensen Anakin looking in sort of a child predator sort of way at the audience. One of those looks like, see guys? I'm in the classic trilogy. You don't like it? Eat it, basically. But subtle changes in some cases, big changes in others. Not as big as the special edition changes, but another round of tweaks to this film series. In 2004, you could buy this in two different ways. Same thing happens in 2005. 2004 is definitely the best set of these to get. They still go with that weird color scheme that they went with back in 97. They forgoed it, thank goodness, in 2000. You've got a gold boxed set, which actually is noted here as full screen up at the top. They do note it now, because most of the time you buy DVDs, you expect them to be widescreen. And a silver package, the one more often bought, which is the widescreen set. Got the cool numbers going down the side and everything. Got the almost sculpted looking version of A New Hope cover on one side. You got Vader there on the other. And our Death Star with the logo on the other side. Silver on one, gold on the other. Now the contents are essentially identical except for full screen versus widescreen here. Let's take a look inside the widescreen set. Open it up. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, with the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing. Then you got TIE Fighters chasing the Millennium Falcon here. And this set from 2004 was a 4-disc set. Each one in its own DVD case here. It's its own little clamshell case. The silver theme continues to run for widescreen throughout. So we've got a new cover here with the same general styling of the logos we see on the prequel films, right? Star Wars with the big Roman numeral behind it with the subtitle underneath. It's got the THX information also down there in silver. Says widescreen up there in silver. Text on the back also silver. This film comes with an audio commentary. It's an anamorphic widescreen DVD transfer with audio commentary available within the film itself. You open it up. You get this early poster concept art type thing here. And on the back, it tells you the chapters of the DVD. And we have a disc that will be re-released over and over again. Got the poster art style stuff there for A New Hope with the logo in silver off to the side. Same goes for Empire. Our cover there. Back cover. Inside, our disc. And the little slip art chapters on the back. Notice that the chapters name up here and the Roman numeral on here are both silver in matching with the widescreen set's aesthetic. Same thing then with Return of the Jedi. Got that greenish kind of cover going on here. Sorry about the reflection. I'm reflecting a computer screen into it here. Back. Inside has the film. And then you've got your art bit. Flip it around. Art again with the chapter listings. What makes this set such a big deal, and the thing that a lot of people are still trying to buy today, even on eBay, causing them to go for some pretty high prices from time to time, is the 4th disc. This disc is the Star Wars Trilogy bonus material, only available in 2004. On the back, it talks about going behind the saga, and has a behind-the-scenes picture here, and then just a picture of the menus up there at the top. The package itself, the cover basically of the first Star Wars novel, right there, used as the Star Wars Trilogy bonus material disc there. And your little thing here, little insert, instead of being just two-sided, has a TIE Fighter on the one side, the art on the other. You open it up, and it folds out to give you information about what is inside. This one contains quite a lot of exclusive bonus material only found in this set on home video. Now, what is that exclusive content? We have a bunch of trailers in here that are not on any other Star Wars home video release here, at least most of them aren't. We have the teaser, launch trailer, re-release, and a special edition re-release trailers for A New Hope, the teaser, launch, and re-release ones for Empire Strikes Back, the Revenge of the Jedi, and launch and re-release teasers, or re-release trailer for Return of the Jedi. We get a trailer for Battlefront. We get a trailer, or a set of TV spots for A New Hope, a set of TV spots for The Empire Strikes Back, more TV spots for Return of the Jedi. Those, for what it's worth, for those who are really keeping score. For A New Hope, it's Farm Boy, What If, Adventure, and Forbidden Love. For The Empire Strikes Back, it's New Chapter, Battle, Old and New, and Heroes. Return of the Jedi, it's It Began, Climactic Chapter, and Return. Lots and lots of trailers on these that you would expect to be on most of the releases, but only on this one. And not even on the disc with the films, on a bonus disc. The films only got one bit of bonus content, and that was the audio commentary here. The bonus disc itself also includes the Empire of Dreams documentary, an awesome look back at the making of the Star Wars trilogy, particularly the making of A New Hope and how that film came to fruition. We also have video game and still image galleries, a demo for the Battlefront video game that is playable on Xbox, the original Xbox, if you stick that disc inside your Xbox. You also have a preview for Revenge of the Sith called The Return of Darth Vader, because this is 2004, the film was coming out a year later, and we get some featurettes. We get the characters of Star Wars, the birth of a lightsaber, which is not the same thing as on a special DVD with a lightsaber toy later. We'll talk about that when we get to the Genndy Tartakovsky micro series. And we have The Force Within Them, The Legacy of Star Wars. A great bit of great bonus material only available in this 2004 set. They're going to reuse the film DVD from this over and over again. None of the bonus material. Bonus discs for this release only. As for the full screen version, pretty much the same thing as what you get in the widescreen version, except in this case, the packaging is just colored a little bit different. We have gold, because it's full screen, again with that weird thing where gold is somehow second best, in a sense here. The text on it is in gold, the text on the back is in gold. Same stuff on the inside, only the Roman numeral and the highlights on the Star Wars logo on the disc are in gold instead of silver. Same thing on the little cards. The little Roman numeral is in gold instead of silver, as is the chapter's title. But otherwise, same thing. Same thing we got last time. Empire, Jedi. The bonus material disc pretty much set up the same as far as the packaging goes, minus the color of some of the highlights. Your disc inside, and again, just the lettering done in gold instead of in silver. Okay. So in theory, you could call these variants, but it's really just full screen versus widescreen, and the bonus material is always the same. There's no full screen versus widescreen version of Empire of Dreams or anything like that. This one doesn't match the others, except just in having to match the color of whatever it is that you see. In this case, gold. In the other case, silver. Now, if you're trying to find these on eBay or elsewhere, the ones that are actually harder to find and usually higher priced are actually these. You would think that it would be the silver set, the widescreen set. And granted, those do go for a pretty penny. But these gold ones, the full screen ones, are actually harder to find because less people bought them. Right? It's 2004. People are excited. They want to watch the films as they're meant to be seen. Super digital DVD presentation. Oh! Well, you want to see that in widescreen, not full screen. So, less full screen ones sold means less of them on the secondary market now, which means higher prices. But whichever one you find, the bonus material is still the same, and it's worth picking up, if only for that bonus disc. That's why some people on eBay sell just the bonus disc, just to get some extra cash. Now, 1 year later, those were off the shelves. And rather than just re-release those again with the bonus disc, which might have been somewhat logical, instead we get another release, a repackage in the form of 2 sets for 2005. Again, a silver widescreen set. Same art on either side. There's widescreen up there at the top. Again, silver. Open side here. It's not a slip case over it or anything like that. And a full screen set. Same art, gold for full screen and such up at the top. On the side, says full screen up there at the top as 2 words, of course, and the open side here. Nothing really special except the film names and such on the bottom, logo there on the top. The films themselves, what do we get? The exact same releases as 2004. Right down to the different little whatchamacallums, the little chapter card things that go inside and tell us where the chapter stops are. The discs, exactly the same, right down to the logo. Everything is the same. All they basically did was they took the discs and the cases and the inserts from the 2004 set and stuck them in a box again. Only this box only has 3 discs. No bonus disc this time. You snooze, you lose. If you didn't buy the 2004 set, the 2005 set is now sans bonus material. The only bonus material at all within this set is those audio commentaries that were on these discs when they were first made for the 2004 set. Now, if you're a collector, these are a pain in the butt to get your hands on, because these sets, just like that gold full screen edition, were less purchased by consumers. Why? Well, we already got another box set a year before, and that one came with bonus material. So people are looking on the secondhand market for those, or looking at stores that might still have those on shelves somehow. And a lot of fans felt like, this is just a repackage. The only thing that's new is literally a folded up piece of cardboard to be a new case. Yeah, I'll skip it. Only now, finding these is a real pain because they're usually fairly expensive, or you find them with somewhat dinged up condition. Mine, for instance, kind of dinged up there at the top, not as sturdy of cardboard and such, kind of dinged a little bit there along the edges and such. They're tough to come by at anything even remotely resembling a decent price these days. Again, thanks to the fact that fewer people bought them, so there's fewer on the secondary market at this point. You can find them, but expect to pay a little bit of cash for them. But they're nowhere near as crazy expensive on places like eBay as a future release of pretty much the same stuff all over again. So in 2004, a new version of the films with the DVD release of the classic Trilogy. In 2005, the first of many repackages of those same 3 discs, just this time without the cool bonus material. Personally, of all the DVD releases, I'd like to have 2 of them. I would pick up the ones in 2006 and the ones from 2004. Wait, 2006? That is coming up in a nearby episode of From the Star Wars Home Video Library. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.